Thank you, Kate and Brenna. Good morning, everyone. I'm Phil, one of the pastors here at Providence Church. As always, it's great to be with each of you as we worship Jesus together, right? And also just relinquish to Him our need for Him to transform our lives, to make us more into the image of His Son, Jesus. What a commitment He has to each of us. In Acts 3, we saw Jesus, through Peter and John, personally touch and heal a paralytic at the entrance gate of the temple called the Beautiful Gate. And as we're learning in the book of Acts, of not just knowing about Jesus, but what matters is this: do each of us experience an intimate walk daily, an intimate relationship with Jesus as we walk through the highs and lows of life? Do you intimately experience Him in your life? You know, as a pastor, there have been few moments in my career, and most often, surprisingly, that I realized I was standing or sitting on sacred, holy ground. Moments that I sensed the presence of God. Moments that I really wasn't prepared for emotionally or even intellectually. This past Thursday was one of those moments. In order to get ready for this service this morning, our very own Erin Selcher courageously and generously accepted an invitation for me to interview her. During that conversation on Thursday, I was overwhelmed by her honesty as she shared with me, and frankly, not just with me, but her willingness to share with us and with you, her intimate experience and journey with Jesus as she battles stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I genuinely pray for each of you as you listen to some of her story, that you find yourself more captivated, more dedicated, and more surrendered to the presence of Jesus in your life. As you ponder and listen to Erin share some of her story, as she courageously invites us into her journey, I really hope that you also find yourself sitting on holy, sacred ground in the presence of God as you listen to Erin share with us. Well, here we are with Erin Selcher. And Erin, thank you for your kindness, willingness, your generosity, vulnerability of really inviting us into some sacred space, and being willing to share and allowing us to journey with you in this. So we're actually at your house, so thanks for letting us come into your house as well. A year ago, Erin was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And that certainly added a new dimension to your family, your husband, your children, your walk with God. And so just take us back to that. What that was, what that moment was like. How did you process that? Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to describe to people. For sure, it's surreal. It's you think it's a joke. It just couldn't be at that moment. It was the last thing that we expected. But I don't think I went through the typical stages of hearing such crazy news, horrible news. I think I quickly accepted the fact that I had cancer. I believed the doctors. I heard what they were saying. It wasn't easy, of course. It was the worst news I've ever gotten. But I just felt that this was what was next for me. This is what God had in store for me. And it was just something I had to walk through. And I was ready to do that with him.
There's good days. There's bad days. By the way, let me just say this. Like your blog,
yes.
Even your transparency today, we were teasing when we came in. You were talking about, I'm not going to wear a wig today.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You were sharing with me about...
Yeah, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no wig. I guess, especially talking about transformation. And I have been spiritually transformed for sure, but physically, obviously transformed when you take a woman's hair away and her eyebrows and her eyelashes. It's hard for a man and a woman, but for me, I was dreading it. But I can't sit here with a wig on and fake eyelashes and talk about transformation, because truly this is also what God has in store for me, just to be real and to really look at all the gifts I have been given other than hair. You know, I still have a lot of assets, I think.
You have assets and an essence.
In an essence, yes.
Let me say that has beautifully bled through.
Yes, yeah.
As a gift. So, when we talk about transformation, you wrote on this a little bit. Learning the things that are really important.
Sure.
As you're facing a reality of your life,
sure.
of meeting the Lord and your life being shortened. Talk to us a little bit more about that, because my impression is, would you have gotten there if this didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
But, just unfold that for us a little bit.
I'm not sure. I think it's something we all struggle with, and we've talked about in our Bible studies a lot, that we know truth, that we know what will get us to God, and we know what we should hold our value in. And but sometimes that's not as tangible as the dishes in the sink, or your dirty house, or your kids who knows what they have on them, or or just what other people see, and when you get a diagnosis that says you're likely going to die at a young age, and way sooner than you thought, you think, you just know that these things don't matter. They don't matter. They're not going to get you to heaven. They're not going to get you to see Jesus. So those things, and it's still a struggle. It's not perfect. Like honestly, you guys came today and I straightened my house up, of course there's that,
The dog's not here. The kids are not here.
The kids aren't here. But way less than before. That those are not priorities. How other people see me, not anymore. It's just how God sees me. And I don't think that would have happened without a crazy diagnosis like this. Yeah.
Erin, you said something interesting to me when we were in the kitchen talking. I think all of us sometimes wonder, will it be us? And then when it is us, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when it is us, actually, we get the news. We have a choice.
Sure.
We can run towards God, or we can run away.
Right.
and you made a choice to run towards him with all that you are. In fact, I use the word when I think of you, frankly, and I read your blogs, and you're fiery about it.
Sure. Yeah.
Not perfect.
No.
But there's this intensity.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Like, what does that feel like practically for Erin to run towards God as she holds stage 4 pancreatic cancer?
Sure. Yeah. I think I'm fiery about it because it's a need. I think I would crumble without it. I don't know what people do without it. I have to run, and I have to be, be almost violent about it because, I think for me, I always thought something was going to happen to someone I love in the world, my parents, my brothers, my husband, my children, and what would I do? How would I cope? What would I do? I've seen many people run away from God during hard times. And you don't always know what you'll do until it happens. For some reason, it wasn't anyone I loved. It was me this time. And it's as if God, he prepared me my whole life for this. He did. He's always in my heart, always in my ear, always gave me people around me, Bible studies that instilled this knowledge in my head and in my heart. But again, you just never know if you're going to do it. But as soon as I did find out the news, he was there. He was right there and waiting, and knew that I was, that I needed him, and I still do every day, every minute.
Tell me how you. I'm going to go emotional here.
Sure. Okay.
Because
yeah,
there's deep emotion
for sure
tied to this that you walk through.
Sure.
So take us in to some of that emotion and how you hold that with God. I don't want to say what the emotion is. You know what it is,
no,
right?
Sure.
At different moments.
Yeah.
So walk us through that as if you're in that emotion.
And I wish I could say one emotion because there's so many.
Right.
And, last week it was just gratitude. That was my emotion. I was just so thankful. Everything I saw and did, just so thankful for that opportunity. Today I'm not feeling that great physically, so I'm angry. I can be angry at God. And just because he's there and just because I'm going towards him, he doesn't expect me not to be angry. I know it. He knows that I'm angry. I can be angry. I can be sad. I can wish that this situation wasn't happening. So there's plenty of emotion. But at the end of after anger, I just come back to gratitude. I really do. I've been given a lot. I've been given a beautiful life, a beautiful husband, and 5 beautiful children, and that was, it's amazing. Do I want more of it? Yes. Am I praying for a miracle? Heck yeah. But at the end of the anger, I hope, I'm grateful. I'm just grateful.
Erin, when I'm with you, there's and I knew this, I sensed this about you even before it came. So there's a sense of security and assurance about you.
Sure, hopefully.
Tell me about fear. Is fear a part of this?
Oh, yeah.
And if it is, can you share that?
Sure.
Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. I think in my own world right now, I just fear, mostly for my husband and my children, what they'll have to do, when I'm gone. I'm confident in my husband. I know that he will do a great job. But there's only it's just a lot. It's a lot. Our lives are a lot anyway. So I have fear for that. I definitely have fear of the, just that my kids won't remember a lot, but I'm working on that, just trying to get some, thanks to video and a whole bunch of stuff, that they'll remember me. And yeah. And I fear that something like maybe a death of their parent will have them run from God. And I don't want that. I want them to run exactly to God, and for them to know who's in control and who is making all these plans for the goodness of us. And so I fear that, but I'm hoping we can just live, I don't know, just be a testament of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
You don't need to apologize. This is
Yeah.
again, you're letting us into the. I'm overusing this word, but it's like the Holy of Holies, because that's where He is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, have there been intimate moments with the Lord through this, and what has that been like?
Yeah, my life is definitely crazy in this house with 5 kids and a new puppy. So the intimacy and the quiet, I guess, is hard to find. But there's been intimacy through just the moments He gives me. Simple, stupid things. It's nothing catastrophic. It's walking to the bus stop with one of my children, holding hands, and it's snowing. It's actually making eye contact with my 3-year-old and us just belly laughing about something. It's little things, nothing huge, but it's just the snow, on the trees, the warm water in the shower. It's stupid stuff, but it's just a lot to be thankful for. Yeah. Sorry. There you go.
No, these are for me, not for you.
Sherry was right.
Just a few more.
Okay. Yeah, for
You're
sure.
doing great.
Thanks. You too.
How do you hold praying for physical healing here on earth? We know God heals.
Sure.
Whether it's here or He heals. He's victorious over it all. He makes all things right. How do you hold praying and even hoping for healing here? And also recognizing that may not happen here
Sure.
with the Lord.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny, I know a lot of people are praying for healing for me. Once in a while, when I'm angry, I pray. I plead for healing. I plead for a miracle. But honestly, sometimes I don't. I pray that God will just continue to use me, and that He just continue to love us, and that's it. But I lost track of your question.
Yeah, you're right on. No, holding that.
Yeah.
No, holding that. That praying for healing. You said in your anger, you'll pray, Lord, heal.
Yeah.
And then relinquishing to you trust Him.
Right.
With it and walking. It's a tension, right?
Right.
So I was just asking you to describe that for us, and it was good.
Yeah, and I already sometimes I feel like the audacity of asking for a miracle, and I know that's silly because you can ask God anything, but He's already given me so much victory. He has given me so much victory, and I'm there. That's where I am, and that's where I'm gonna stay, because everything is from here on out is icing on the cake. You know?
All right. So
Sorry.
your children,
Oh, yes.
they range from ages from
They're 11 to 3.
11 to 3.
Yeah. Every other year.
They're watching you. They're with you. Yeah. They're asking questions. What do you say to them? How do you... I know there's not an equation for this, Erin, right?
No, there isn't. There's no equation. And I think what we have done, Steve and I, is just really we're trying to just model and be open about how thankful we are for what we've been given and where we're going and all that matters. And I pray that my kids know that the end all and be all is to be in heaven. And if they have a comfort of that, if they know that heaven is this glorious place with golden streets and that there's no pain, and then they'll be okay. They'll be okay. And that's what we really hope to teach them. Is it going to be sad? Heck yeah. They're going to be lonely, but at the end of it, the Lord has it all planned out. And yeah, so the deep conversations haven't really happened. I still feel good. I still do the day-to-day stuff. I'm making dinner. I'm going to sports. So nothing really has drastically changed in their life.
The routine.
I'm tired a couple nights a week. I'm in bed a little bit more. But I wouldn't say I'm sick. So the hard conversations haven't yet occurred. But the good conversations of heaven have. And, so that's where
have there been any comments, specifically from the kids, or questions that, took you back for a moment?
This Christmas time, it was silly, but my 7-year-old Jesse woke up with a nightmare that I was not going to be here for Christmas, that I went to heaven for Christmas. So that was hard. It was a dream. It was a nightmare. But for a week before Christmas, I was sort of like waiting. I'm still here. And yeah, nothing other than that. They've called me funny names because I lost my hair and my ears are big, but we laugh about it, and I hope that's something I can teach them too, is just to laugh about things that when it gets hard. But yeah, nothing really I can think of specifically.
Yeah, no, that's good. So, people, friends, church community, neighborhood, right? All kinds of... I'm sure you could talk an hour just about the community and people's responses to it. What has been helpful? Right? There's some things that are not helpful. But what has been helpful in this season from people?
Obviously, the help with meals has been great, and some financial help has been great. Those are all given, and I don't want to diminish that because it truly has been helpful. Not having to worry about cooking, especially with the neuropathy I've had. But the biggest thing, other than prayer, I know people have been just covered me with prayer. I feel so completely covered by prayer in every walks, from priests to from pastors to Russian Orthodox pastors. Like, everyone has just really touched me and just prayed over me, which is just crazy to think that. Anyway, the biggest thing I think that has been helpful is for people to just treat me like Erin. You know, and I know it's weird. You don't want to walk around and you just don't want people to tiptoe or act like, you don't want people to act like you have cancer, and you don't want people to act like you're sick. You just want people to be comfortable and normal around you, because from my stance, there's only so much time where we can be normal and cool and just easy. So that's what's been the most helpful.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So this is the last one.
Okay.
You can say anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
It could be on your heart. It might be something we didn't go. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now with the Lord in this moment. But is there anything else you just you just want to say or share?
I just feel like that the worry and the fear that this world can bring is immense. It's huge. And without God, without that relationship with God, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people deal with all the fear. I just don't. So I guess that's my only, if I could tell my children one thing, it would be just to fear not, and trust in God. And even when things are as crazy as stage 4 cancer, it will still be okay. Everything was going to be okay. Because God loves you. And that's it. It's simple. That's it.
I know you're blogging, so tell.
Sure, yeah. It started as something my friends started just for communication aspect of, logistical stuff. But it became sort of something that it was just nice to write, nice to vent a little bit and just to process what I was going through. So if feel free to read it. It's on a Caring Bridge website, and you could just Google my name or search my name. Sorry.
So someone type in Caring Bridge.
Caring a Bridge, and then
Wait, say
you can Caring Caring Bridge.
Okay, all one.
All one, and then you just search my name, Erin Selcher, and it'll come up. And yeah, it sort of takes you over the year of my journey, and it's a lot of blabbering, but yeah.
No, you it's not blabbering. You shared in there, speaking's one thing, writing. Your writing and how you express it is just tremendous.
Well,
it is.
Thanks.
Been great. So
thanks.
That's a great way to continue with Erin on this journey.
Thanks.
So. Erin and Steve and the Selcher family, the kids, thank you again. I know I say this on behalf of everyone that just had the honor of hearing that. Thank you for letting us in. The one thing that struck me Thursday and now again as I listen with you is the way that Erin is intimately knowing God, and as she's experiencing Him through this, she is better understanding herself. And as she looks deeply, I hope you heard it, as she looks deeply into herself, as God takes her there, she better knows God. And it goes both ways. David said it this way, and I hope this is your prayer and trust of Jesus, of the Lord. Search me, O God, and know my heart. You know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And I give you permission to see if there be any grievous way deep within me, and lead me in the way of everlasting. Here's your invitation this morning? Will you be still enough, humbly reflective enough to let God show you you? What part of what Erin shared struck you, moved you? Maybe you felt sad, angry. Maybe a sense of gratitude towards the Selcher family or Erin in particular. Maybe you felt inspired or tension-filled. Maybe what she shared provoked questions. I want to invite you to spend 30 seconds with me in silence with this prayer. Lord, show me me. Before we sing this song and end our service together, I would be missing an opportunity if I didn't ask you, do you know about him? Or are you experiencing a close, personal, intimate connection and relationship with Jesus? There is such a difference. Jesus created you. He died for you. He resurrected for you. Why? So you can walk with him and experience a deep, intimate relationship with him. Will you trust him for that? Here's a prayer. Lord, I desperately need a personal connection with you. I trust you created me. I confess I've sinned and rebelled against you. I trust you gave your life to forgive me, heal me, and fill my life with your presence. I want to walk the rest of my life with you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Be sure to tell someone, share it, be loud about it, about how you're experiencing him today. Let's worship and sing together as we end our time together.